episode is
Yes.
going to be very fun. We have our special guest, Matt of Opinion. Do y'all want to introduce yourselves?
What's
Yep, go
going
ahead.
on, everybody? You got your girl, that educated lady here.
And it's your boy Walls P in the building. Another
And you
collaboration.
Yes, thank you for having us.
Of
for
course, we
sure,
appreciate y'all. Rex,
Rex.
what's good with you?
Yo, I'm chilling, man. I'm chilling. Peace to everybody in the chat. What's going on?
All right, Wally, you going to bring us into the questions for today?
Yeah, today we're doing talks on pretty man a priority for single mothers. And
Mm,
yeah, that's gonna be a deep conversation because I know it's gonna ruffle a couple of feathers, but in spite of that, I think a lot can be learned through our discussion. I don't know.
absolutely.
You get what I'm
Oh,
saying?
Lord.
So yeah, so we'll see where this discussion goes. So okay. So the first question that we have is, should single mothers feed their men before their children? And how high should a man be on a single mother's list?
Hmm.
Who
Who's
wants to go
starting that?
first?
I don't mind starting it off.
You don't
Oh,
mind start? All
okay.
right, okay,
Yeah.
ladies
So,
first.
all right. So, should I do both or just tackle the first question
You
first?
could tackle the first question first.
All right.
Yeah.
Um. Wow. See, for me, because of how I was raised, I'm in a sense the man comes first. So, it also depends on the situation. Like, if it's just somebody you see, I can't even say that because I think for me, before I bring a man around my son, like, not only are we in a relationship, but like we already established something. So it's not just, oh, okay, this is some guy that I've been seeing for a couple of
Hmm.
weeks or a couple of months, and I'm bringing him around my son. So for me, when my man comes over to the house, it's, oh, hey, baby, you ready to eat? You want me to make your plate? Like, it just comes naturally. But again, I think that's also because of the way that I was raised. But again, it has to be serious if he's coming around the kid.
I
Oh,
can agree. Who's gonna tackle it next? Who's gonna speak up next?
she surprised me, so I'm a little shocked. Rex,
Yeah, I'm shocked
you
too, to
agree
be
with that?
honest. For me, it was also because how I was raised. Coming from a Haitian background, I've always saw that the man was served first. Sometimes I like to think that it's like a cultural thing. I think only because like people that are born anywhere outside of like North America that come migrate to North America, normally they'll bring their old their traditions and values over here, right? And then they'll just continue on and pass it down to their children. So obviously the children will see, and then that's why, like, obviously, for me and educated lady, so that's what we saw, right? So for me, that was like the norm. Um, but like, if young kids, you know what I'm saying? If, when I say young kids, like, toddlers and stuff, they don't eat the same time as us, right? They're gonna eat ever. So, I mean, I get that you would feed the children first because the young kids, they're hungry and whatnot. But again, from what I've seen growing up, I've always saw that it's the man that or the husband that got served first, only because, like, in my opinion, it's like a cultural thing.
Hmm.
I'll speak next on this one. The way I see it, a single mother, if you're initially meeting a man and you're just starting to get acquainted, no, feed the child first. The child is more important. Um, Once you start crossing that bridge into understanding what direction you guys are going to and what you're actually trying to build to as far as marriage and stuff like that, or getting very serious and building into marriage, then okay, I can see you start to set the trend, because by then I'm pretty sure he met your kids, he have a good rapport with them and everything like that. So then you can start setting that trend, preparing for the things to come when it, for the next level and everything like that. But initially off the bat, absolutely not. That woman's priority should be her kids first. That's the way I see it. And then, he's secondary. A lot of people may not like that because they're like, oh, I should be top priority. No, her top priority for that time being is her kids. So that's the way I see it.
Yo, I gotta agree with you. That's how I see it too. Especially being married, you see that I could be busy, she could be busy. So sometimes I could get my own food. I don't always need you to do that, but the kids may need you. I'm not dependent on your every. So back in the day, I would see because my father always got fed first, and I thought that was an example that's being set, and I liked it. But then I got older, and we're busy, and nah, I think the kids should definitely come first. But sometimes what I think the man may have to, if he's somebody sensitive who I think you may have to show him here and there, I made you a special
Hmm.
plate, here you go.
Hmm.
Just to make
Hmm.
you feel good, I guess. But nah, the kids come first. I agree 1,000% with you.
And I can agree with your premises on that stuff too, because certain circumstances, yes, I can agree. Now, if it comes to like being married and stuff like that, then yes, you should serve the husband first since he's the head of the house. But again, that can be circumstantial too, because if the kids are hungry as I don't know what and stuff like that, and like you said, if it's a long day and all that stuff like that, then yeah, it can go down a different path or whatever. But conventionally, should the man be served first? Yes, but that's talking about a situation that's concrete. You guys are
Mhm.
linked together. But
Absolutely.
just dating and stuff like that, women, that child's first. Put that child first. That's what
See,
I say.
I hear what you're saying, but I mean, if we're talking about putting the children first of all, let me just say this. I think people
Hmm.
should do whatever works best for their household.
Hmm.
That's first and foremost. But when you're saying to like put the children first, like you make it seem like we're like, okay, it's either the kids or that man. Like we're gonna put the kids out in the cold.
The
Like we're
reason,
talking about
the
making a
reason,
plate.
the reason why I say put the children first is because sometimes, in the prospect of women seeing a good man, they can make the children secondary and turn
Yes.
their focus on that man. And sometimes that could be a bad idea because you don't know if that man is crazy,
Yeah.
deranged, and you don't want
Facts.
to bring that type of environment towards your kids. But I get it. Sometimes you could be happy, or even if it's a single dad and he's happy and giddy about this woman that he's meeting. So he start putting her first in front of his kids. I don't think that's a wise choice until there's something at least concrete established what direction you guys are going and you're very sure about the person. That's all I'm saying.
No, I definitely agree with you. But I think in terms of but no, like I said, I agree with you. But my thing is just if we're talking about just making a plate. Now, of course, if the kids are coming to you like I'm starving, of course I'm not gonna say, nope, we have to wait for daddy to come home, or nope, we have to wait for, such and such to get here. Like, no, it would never be anything like that. But what I'm saying is in terms of like, okay, if we have an event, it's the holiday, of course, if the kids, of course they're talking, they want to come and say, hey, I'm hungry, I want to eat. Okay, cool. We'll eat. But if it's just one of those things of, okay, I just got finished cooking. Hey, babe, are you ready to eat now? Okay. What, regardless of what your response is, yes or no, okay, then okay, the kids, are you ready to eat now? Then start making their plates. But if we're talking about if it comes down to getting a gift for a man over getting groceries for the house for the kid, like those are two completely different things. But I feel like making a plate, I don't know, maybe
No,
I'm
but
just, yeah,
you know what though? Here go, educated lady. Let's say you made a plate for your man, right?
okay.
I think some kids will start to resent that man because it's like, wait, he don't live here. How he getting a plate before me? I may be petty like that. If my mom was single, I may be a petty. Yeah, I may be like, yo, I'm here. I should be eating before this dude. So I think you got to have a conversation and let that child know because I'm just saying I would not be feeling it. This dude just came in the crib and he eating before me. Yo, baby, nah, I would not like that. Personally,
I,
I'm saying
Yeah, but
I,
see,
I,
as a child, this is why it's good to stay in a
I'm
child's
not.
place because who's to say that from the outside looking in, that's what you're seeing. But who's to say that even though that man doesn't live there, he's still not contributing to the household?
To me as a kid, that doesn't even matter. It's just he don't live here. Like, nah, it's
Hmm.
you and I. So no, that's how I would feel
just,
as a
you
little
Re-
I
boy.
think
wait,
the
Re-
over
wait, wait,
like
opinion
wait.
you're
though.
supposed to,
Let
you
Rex chime in because he was about to say something.
yeah, no, it's because like you're still as a single mother, as a single mother when you're dating and stuff, you're still trying to get to know the person. You're still trying to see if you can trust this person around your children. That's like the biggest thing of all, right? So that right there, that takes time, right? So I can agree that, yeah, you know, uh, dating, the children will always come first before anybody, because again, you're still trying to vet this person to see, you know what I mean, like, okay, that, you know, they're here for me and my child and whatnot, or children. And again, you're just trying to build that rapport, but also just to find out, listen, is this person like, uh not a psychopath and, you know, actually here for us, or just, you know, here for a free ride. So
Mhm.
I can understand how to put in the children first in that scenario.
Let,
Absolutely.
let me ask you
Yeah.
guys. Let me ask you guys this, because I want to paint it in this scenario, right?
Hmm.
So if a single mom is dating a guy, right? You're talking a couple of weeks or a month, 2 months, or whatever the case may be. Now, as they're going into them 2 or 3 months, it's like, okay, she feel comfortable to introduce him now to her son or her daughter or however many kids. So that initial meeting of bringing him home into the house to actually sit down and meet the kids and have a dinner, who should she make a plate for first? The
Mm.
kids or the man?
Yeah.
Because that's the best way to dictate it.
If I'm the kid, no, not him.
No.
You would definitely think that, because yeah, right off rip to be like, hold on, why is he getting to
Yeah.
play first? I'm just meeting him. Like, what's going on here? You know what I mean? And
He'd have to tell me ahead of, like, yo, he's gonna be
yeah,
fresh first. Explain that to me.
exactly. You got to sit down. Listen, I'm bringing somebody home. His name is such and such. You know, this is our first time. Well, it's not our first time, you know, engaging with
But
each other, but it's gonna be the first time you'll be meeting him. Da, da. So again, you have that conversation with your child. So then
but
the child not like, you know, looking at you like you're bugging, like, what's going on? Where how is he getting to play first? So
but check this out though. As that woman, the last thing she's probably thinking about is who getting a plate first until that time come.
True.
So
That's
it's
true.
easy. It's
that's
easy for
true.
her to overlook that aspect of the conversation.
That's
So
true.
That's
I
true.
would love
That's
to
true.
hear your take, educated lady. What do you think? Like how, like if you was in that situation, how would you handle it?
First of
Now,
all, that's too.
granted, let's put this dichotomy into it. If you didn't have the conversation with your child as far as who's getting their plate first, you just say, "Hey, I'm bringing such and such over. We're gonna have dinner," and that's the extent of the conversation.
Well, again, the scenario you gave is too soon. I'm not bringing anyone around my kids a couple of weeks, couple of months. That's first off. Like I prefaced it before I said my response. I'm talking about something that is established. We've been together, like we are official. I'm not talking about dating and okay, who comes first. I'm talking about something that's actually established because I'm sorry, if it's anything under a year, I'm still vetting you out. First of all, I'm
Okay.
still wondering if I want to be with you. So it's
Nu-
like, why would
number
I
one-
bring you around my kids?
I
number
like I
one
like what
number
Erica
num,
Pierce said. But go ahead.
number
Sorry, I lost you.
number one. Love is a process, not a destination. That's number one.
Facts.
Meaning, there's no time
Facts.
frame on how when you'll love a person or whatever the case may be. It's a process. That's number one. So again, if you met that person and you just like, yo, this is the one, and you felt it in your gut, a scenario like that, how would you handle it? Because I
First
understand,
of
I could
all,
understand you can sit by like your principles and everything, but we're talking a what if theoretical situation.
I understand, and that was like a nice little slogan you said, but that had nothing to do with the question. The thing about love is a destination, not a process, or the process, not a destination, whatever you
Hmm.
just said. I'm talking about getting to know a person before I bring them around my children. So I see what you're saying. I can see if the conversation was about marriage or about moving in, and you're like, okay, there's no rush, you can't put a time on it. That would have made sense to me. But if we're talking about meeting our children, like, come on, how many shows have we done with Strategic and have watched where there are women who have brought their man around their kids or their
Hmm.
child, and it was very short or they didn't really get to know them, and then something either happened to them and or their children.
See,
Hmm.
I
So
got
that
see,
little slogan you
see,
made sounded nice,
I
but
gotta
it
give
doesn't apply to the
I gotta
situation.
give pushback. The reason why I gotta give
Okay.
pushback is
Nice.
because you're saying, "Oh, it sounds nice," but come on, man. We know for a fact when it comes to a person being lost in their emotions, they wind up doing the darndest things. So
Yeah, but
you
see, we're
can't
not talking about people. You preface the question to
listen.
me, and
Okay,
I'm
I
telling
understand.
you how I would handle it.
So you never did anything on impulse based off love, where it was like a quick turnaround to
Not
meet
for
your
my
son or
child. Not
whatever.
when it comes to my child. No.
Okay, all right. I'll leave it alone. I'll leave it
when
at
it
that.
comes when it comes to the children, that's different. If it's somebody like Brent, like I just met somebody today. No, I'm sorry.
We're
You are
not
not.
talking today. We're talking in a couple of months.
Yes, and what I'm saying, let me finish. What I'm
Okay.
saying is, if I meet someone today, I'm not bringing them around my child in under a year. I still need to get to know you because who knows? You could be, all nice and oh, he's doing this, and that. He's buying me this, and a month, 3 months from now, whatever your true colors can show. It's only but so long a person can put up a
Mhm.
facade.
That thing
So
come out.
now, if
Educated
it's
lady. Sorry, I
yes,
didn't mean to cut you off. I'll let you finish
that's
your point. I
okay.
want to ask you something.
No, no, no. Go ahead. I don't want you to forget it.
What I wanted to ask you was, let's say I'll just say like 6 months. Let's say 6 months. You meet this guy. You met this guy. Everything's going well. You guys vibing good. Everything's good, right? What if he asks you he'd like to meet your children? What will you say then?
And it's been how long? 6 months.
6 months, and he wants to meet your children. Mind you,
We
he's
will have
good with kids. You've seen he's good with kids. He like you just seen it, whether it was with his nieces, nephews, whatever. Like you've seen he's good with kids, and he asks you he'd like to meet your children. What at 6 months? What will your response be?
we will have to work on that. And if it was something where I'm madly in love, okay, he can meet my son. Let's go to a park. So that way it's a neutral space. You're not coming to my house. So we don't have the debate of who gets served first. But it could be like you have to take baby steps. Like you can't just because think about it, like you have to, like you said, slowly introduce your children or your child to the fact that you're probably even dating, let alone, okay, this is the person that mommy wants to be with, hopefully forever. So we could start with baby steps. It could be a park. It could be, let's say we go to an amusement park. It could be a festival, whatever. So it's like I'm introducing you to this person. And okay, let's see how the vibe is. Let's see how things are going. Like it's baby steps. You can't go from 0 to 100, especially when you have children.
I got you. That makes sense.
Look,
Especially that you're meeting them or you're introducing them. It doing it somewhere public. You know what I mean? I completely agree
Go
with
ahead,
that.
Walls, please. I know
look,
you got something
I
to
look.
say.
I stand by my conviction. Women are capable, like women, not women in general, but people are capable of doing the darndest things when their heart is talking to them,
That
and
Oh,
I
they
agree
facts.
can
too.
That's
they
That
can
I
facts.
agree
they
too.
can bypass a lot of things and a lot of protocols and checks and balances and wind up like foregoing whatever rules they have in place because the heart wants what it wants. I
Facts.
firmly believe that situations like that happen on a regular basis.
Okay,
So
I agree with you. But
yeah,
again, you posed the question to me. I can't speak
okay,
for all single mothers. I can only speak for myself.
all right.
Mm.
We agree
Educated
to
ladies
disagree.
ready.
We agree to disagree, but okay.
Educated ladies ready.
No, I'm just saying. I mean, and I've been fortunate enough where I've been in situations where there were people I knew for a couple of years or I knew them beforehand before, we got into a relationship. So I guess that's why for me, I kind of have like those rose colored glasses on and it's like, nope, sorry. It's that because it's not even when I was in a situation where I had just met someone, like just getting to know somebody, we didn't meet each other's sons until I want to say maybe like a year and a half, something like that. So I don't know. I just feel like I rather take my time, get to know you. And at the end of the day, if we're on the same page, you don't have ill intentions, then I don't have anything to worry about. But if you're in a rush and you feel like, oh, you must be hiding,
So
you know,
wait, so you're saying you could wait a year if you think the person is the one? You're waiting a year? I think that's respectful,
in
but
terms of bringing them around my child.
correct.
Well, for me in that situation, that's what we see. Here's the thing with that situation, God rest his soul. I was at a place where I wanted something different because when you
Okay.
keep doing the same things over and over again, expecting a different result, that's insanity. So,
Facts.
with this situation, not only did we wait a year before we had sex, and I can say that on a stack of Bibles, but we also gave it some time because we were dating each other. We wanted to fill each other out. Even though we had mutual friends, that still wasn't enough for me. I wanted to get to know you, who you were, what you had gone for yourself, because in my mind, I want to get married. So I wanted to do things differently. So yes, we did meet each other's sons. Like I said, it was a little over a year, going into a year and a half, and things were great. Unfortunately, he passed away. That's the reason why we're not together to this day. So that was my story. I can't speak for everybody else, but that's what worked for me.
Sorry for your loss.
Miss M, yeah, Miss M gave you a shout out too.
I appreciate it. Thank you, Miss M.
All right. So the second part of the question was, how high should a man be on a single mother's list?
Mm.
Who wants to take that first?
Yo, I could take it. There's
Okay, go ahead.
someone I'm close with is going through a situation where they was treating the single mother beautiful. Like I'm talking about in such a lovely way. The kids was basically his kids, doing all he can. And he said he felt like he was 57th on her priority list. He said
Wow.
he felt like, he's doing all of this, but he's getting no love in return. Lo and behold, he ended up getting played at the end of the day. And this is someone who does not give his heart, but he gave it and she just stepped on it. So I think a single mother should put a man high on her priority list because he's going to help alleviate some stress. Well, he should alleviate some stress from your life. So I think if you put that research in finding a good man, I think he will help you take care of your kids. He will help you do what you really want to do, like go to school, do this, do that. I think he'll help you. So I think he should be high. I'm talking about like high, high, right after the kids high. That's what I
I,
think.
I'll piggyback off Junior. I also think that a man should be high on a single mother's priority list, only because like exactly what June said, like he can help you out, in terms of with the bills, all the finance, whatever has got to be done at the crib. You know what I mean? Helping raise your children, right? Like children, and I know this from personal experience, like children, that fathers need to be in the home, right? So like
Mhm.
this, we see when there's no father, we see what happens to the children. So like that right there, you know what I mean? So it's just there's just so many, well, so many. There's benefits to having a man around. I mean, why wouldn't you want to? You know what I mean? Like I know a few of my single mother female friends that they're not they're not happy with their situation. You know what I mean? It's like, granted, yeah, it happened, but they're not happy to be alone. You know what I mean? So absolutely, I think it should be definitely priority.
I think it should be a high priority, but at the same time, not be naive and just look for anything just for the sake of fact, just for the simple fact of trying to get that aided help, so to speak.
Of course.
Because with that being said, again, you got to be careful with who you're bringing around your kids too. So, yes, once you do get that man, then definitely make him a high priority, but don't take making a man as high priority as a means of, not to say being desperate, but once you think you find a potential fit or match, that you just do anything and like make your kid secondary off the bat. Like, don't do that. Don't do that. Just
Yeah.
so just be careful with it. But once you do find that person, then I can agree, yes, make them a priority, because parenting is not made to be done alone. So
No.
yeah, so
Agreed.
I
Agreed.
that's what I
definitely
think.
agree with you. I think it
That's what
also
I think.
depends on that person's intentions, also.
Hmm.
Like, because you have some single mothers where they're so busy on the move, they're doing everything on their own, wearing multiple hats. Like, a man really isn't a priority for them. But I don't know. For me, it did take some time because originally, like, I was that workaholic, in school, going to school, going to work, taking care of home, and I also take care of my mother. So for me, it was like, okay, if a man comes, he comes, and if he doesn't, he doesn't. But then once a man became a priority, as you mentioned, like, don't just settle for anything just because you want a man. Like, no, still have those standards. And that's the other thing too, I want to stress to single mothers: just because you have children or you have a child doesn't mean that you have to settle. Like, regardless of what social media experts want to tell you, you do not have to settle just because you have a child or you have children. You can still have those standards, you can still have whatever is on your priority list in terms of a man. But again, for me, like, asking me now, like, yeah, a man is high on the priority list. Doesn't come before my child. He'll get a plate before my child, but he doesn't come before my child. But yeah, he's up there on the priority list.
But
Let
single
me
mothers, realistic expectations, because some single mothers have expectations that's unrealistic. Like I want a man who's 10 feet tall, who has $1 million, who is the most romantic. Just be realistic.
yeah,
Yeah,
That's what
exactly.
I would say.
I think
yeah.
for all women, just because you're a single mother, I don't think that you should have to step it down a notch just because you have a additional child or two in tow. Like I think
You
women
should
in
step it
general.
up. You should step it up a notch because you have precious things you're coming into the relationship with. So
Th-
there's a different standard for single mothers.
This is what I will say.
But go
As
ahead.
a single mother, and you're out there in the dating field, you can not settle and have high standards. But with that being said, you got to go above and beyond with what you're doing also, because I'm speaking from a man's perspective. If I'm a dude and you give me the option to date a woman or be with a woman, that the both women are on equal playing fields, but one have a kid and one don't, the average man is going to lean towards the one that don't have the kid. So it's like, what do you have having a kid? What do you have that would make me pick the one that has the same qualifications that you do, but don't have a kid? So you
Exactly.
standards, yes, but you gotta go a step above to differentiate yourself from the rest. So
I
take that to
agree.
consideration. That's all I'm saying. So yes, you can have your standards and everything like that, but think like a man on how would they look at the situation from their perspective. Because at the end of the day,
Exactly.
the men are the one who are looking to court you, approach you, and all of that stuff. So
That's it. Because you ladies have to keep in mind, the single mothers, like for you ladies, the competition is fiercer for you ladies. You know what I mean?
Yes.
There's a childless younger version of you, right? Like, so you have to make it worth their while, right? You gotta work double, triple time to
That
really
must
put
suck
that.
to hear.
You know,
huh?
No,
what do
it
you say?
absolutely doesn't suck to hear because I hear you all. I do. But that's also why so many women are opting for it. I mean, you can look at the stats. That's why so many women are opting for being single, not getting married, because it's what you men just said is why a lot of women feel like, well, you know what? I have my children, I have my career. Like, I'm not going to go up and beyond just to have a man. If you
See,
can't see what I bring to the table just because I have a child, then it's not meant for me to have you.
But
see,
That's just
but
me.
the only
to
reason
me,
why here I'm being honest
Okay.
for majority of men. I'm not saying there's some that will. For majority of men, to keep it real, I know I'm not supposed to say it, but I gotta keep it real with you ladies. Most men do not want
Yeah.
to raise another person's child. I'm
Facts.
sorry, like they don't.
I
They
hear what
really
you're
don't.
saying, but let's not act like you men come to the table perfect and whole.
Facts.
Of
So
course,
even though
of
I
course,
may
But
have a
that's
child that
different.
I'm bringing to the
that
table,
look
you don't
that's
act like you don't have something I'm settling for also.
that's
of
another
course.
discussion
It's
for
different
another
though.
day. But this
Playing
is
with me.
this is this is what I this is what I say to the ones who say, "Oh, if you me telling me I got to step my game up or I got to try and reevaluate myself, yada yada." To me, then you deserve to be single and get a dog and die
No, no,
alone.
no.
Listen,
Because
no. Can let me finish. The reason why I say that is because men aren't born with having, what's the word I'm looking for? They're not born with
sexual
having
value.
yeah, or having
Yes.
status. Men have to earn it. So if you see a man that's overweight and he's not getting no play from women, guess what? He's going to get his butt in
Step
the
it up.
gym, step his game up to achieve what he's
He
trying to
shouldn't.
get.
Not
And
all.
No,
No, I'm not saying he
and he
shouldn't.
no,
I'm
but
saying
but
knows,
what I'm
and he knows it.
but
you give
here's
them
the
time
thing. Here's the thing.
Okay.
The
I
reason
let
why men should do, because if you're saying that you have a standard that you want, then you have to achieve that standard that you want. You have to put in the work for yourself to get to that standard that you want. And like I say, a lot of people disagree with me. I see relationships as a business. So if you want to work yourself up to being a manager, guess what? You got to put that work in yourself to be that manager. You don't just say, well, take me as I am, boss, and put me at that manager position. If not, then I'm gonna just take my cheeks, my talent somewhere else. Everywhere you go, they're gonna be like, you don't have managerial experience. There can be a place that can give you that managerial spot. Being a manager, they can give you that spot. But what are the chances without the experience or without you putting in the work, showing, hey, this is what I've done to earn this.
I like
So
that.
that's all
I
I'm
hear
saying.
you. I
That's
hear
all
you.
I'm
At
saying.
the same time,
I
I'm not an
like that.
advocate for anybody changing themselves to do anything that they wouldn't normally do to go out here to get a man.
I'm not
But you
saying
shouldn't
change.
better
Because we
yourself
have
though.
Yeah,
no. We're not talking about bettering ourselves. I'm talking about changing themselves in terms of if I have a child in tow, like the example you
Okay.
gave is all great and dandy, but a child is not like losing weight. I can't just say, oh, you know what? God, I found this new man and he doesn't have any kids. Can you take my child back for 5 years? Like,
see,
no,
you went to
losing
the
weight and
extreme.
having
But
We
yes,
went to the
because
extreme. We're
listen,
not
let
we're not
let me
talk.
finish.
Okay.
I let you talk, let me finish.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm saying is that if I have a child and I know that okay, this man doesn't have children, oh, you need to step it up, you need to do this, this, and that. I'm not going to do anything that is out of my character, is what I'm saying. I didn't say anything about bettering myself. I said I'm not doing anything outside of my character to get a man, because if that's the case, then I'm sorry, it wasn't meant for me to have him.
But
Even though
Walls,
we
what
may
did you mean step it up? What did he mean
exactly,
step
what
it
did
up?
you
I
mean
what
by
thought
I
it
that?
was
what
just
I,
to better yourself.
yeah, but basically what I mean by stepping up a notch. Okay. So as a woman, if you have kids, whatever, you're evaluating the field that's going on. I bet. You see a lot of women who can't really cook. Guess what? I'm gonna build up my skills when it comes to cooking.
Oh, I like
You
that.
see a lot of women out there running to the streets, clubbing, twerking, and stuff like that. I'm gonna hold myself classy and not put myself out there like there's so many things. I see a lot of women that have attitude and say, "Hey, I'm a strong black independent woman." Guess what? I'm gonna be more feminine and actually sit down and listen to men and be cordial. Yada. I'm not gonna be like how a lot of these women are coming in the picture with attitudes or whatever. Okay, a lot of women are what 500-600 pounds, so to speak. I bet I'm gonna have myself in shape and XYZ. I'm exaggerating, whatever, but you get what I'm
Five,
saying.
600
There's
pounds.
but
little
that and then and
there's
that
little
just
things
right
that you
there.
can separate yourself from the pack. That's what I mean by go over and beyond. Not to say like, oh man, I gotta now go learn some
How to
gymnastics and
twerk.
be on a chandelier.
Yeah,
No. I'm talking
and
about
even
separating yourself with different skills and stuff. But go on,
That's
Rex. My bad.
no, and also because right off rip, okay, you're on road and you already know men are visual. So if you know men are visual, why not increase your chances? Go to the gym, get in weight, get yourself right, get your nutrition proper, because you already know they're right off rip, they're looking at you like, okay, they see the physical. Now, okay, now they're gonna go approach you. Then after that, you can base on how their characters and all that. But you already know off rip, they're going off the visual. So why not up your chances on that? And then exactly what Walls P said, work on the rest of the stuff. Like again, but ladies don't want to, I'm not saying all, but there's some they just don't want to do all that. So it's
Take
like,
me
all
as I
right,
am.
cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
as I am. All right, cool, no problem. Enjoy the single life. I'm letting y'all know. I'm sorry.
I
I'm
hear
not,
you,
I'm
but
not
like you
kill.
said, it
I'm not
goes
trying to
both
shoot
ways.
shots at anybody. I'm just
No,
letting you
I
know.
understand, but like I said, I still think it goes both ways. Just because I have a child is not a candy cap. So same way I need to step it up, man needs to step it up as well.
I'm
Oh,
telling you,
facts.
I understand that, but if the man doesn't have a child, trust me, they don't
That's
see it.
different.
They don't see it that way. They don't see it that way.
Yeah,
I'm just,
because it's just a child, but I'm telling you, nobody is perfect. We all have something. So even if I'm coming to the table with a child or with children, you can't tell me that that man is coming to the table, oh, making six figures and he has a six pack and he has it. No, he's not coming to the table with all of that. He
no,
has
he's
stuff too that we're settling for.
But you can choose. Remember, wait, you see them too, right? So you can choose. All right, that's not the one for me. Next, you don't have to go and just like you
And
Mhm.
said,
that's
you
what
don't
I'm saying. You
have
don't have to settle, still have your standards. Walls P's the one that came at it with the whole different blueprint. I'm just
he's just
saying,
saying
I
just
agree with you.
he's just saying just
that's not
increase your chances. That's all he's saying.
that
Yeah.
Increase your
No, I
exactly,
your
understand that.
exactly.
competition is extremely fierce.
Yeah.
Extremely. Like, remember,
because
there's more
because
people than us.
this is the perspective I'm talking. The perspective I'm talking is that woman that has a child sees a guy that she want. He checks all the boxes. He's dating her and another woman that basically has the same qualities as her, but that woman has no kids. So
Okay.
in his mind, what do you bring to the table? Like, why would I choose you over her who doesn't have a kid? That's all I'm saying. What I'm saying is, think of it as a man where this is the guy you want. You're in competition with another woman who basically doesn't have kids. So what do I have that separate me from this woman? That's all I'm saying.
Wait, Walls. Let me quickly piggyback off him because with that, if you just had a child, you're a single mother, and
Okay.
you're kind of in a decent shape, and then he's also talking to her who's kind of in the same shape with you, he know, okay, this one had a child and her body still look good. I don't know if you have a child if you're gonna just gain 3,000 pounds and just say I'm not working out anymore. This is how you're gonna have to accept me. So at least if you're working out, you can kind of put yourself in the race. But if you're not working out or trying to better yourself, he's always going to choose the person with no kids. We're scared to deal with people with kids because we got to deal with that guy that comes with that kid. And that is a problem. He may
and-
want to kill me because I want to show you and your child love. It's like,
and
what?
don't get me wrong, it's not the case of, hey, the baby father isn't in that picture. Like, before the guy meets you, that's what's like going through his mind. That's all I'm saying. It's the optics of it. I'm not saying you know the person, they know you in and out. No, I'm just talking the optics so women can look at it in that perspective. That's all I'm saying.
No, I understand. I just
Yeah.
don't agree that children are handicapped, and that's how you men are approaching it. So
Yeah.
that's just me. That's just
Yeah.
my opinion as a single mother. That's just how I took it.
You want to know why? Because men are territorial.
Strategic
So
guys
right
in the
off-
building. Sorry, strategic guys in the building.
No,
What's
but-
up, brother? Go on, Rex.
So like right off rip, once a man sees you have a child, in his mind he sees another man just mark his territory. I'm not trying to make it sound like, rude or anything, but it's how we see it. It's like, oh man, you know what I mean? It's like, yo, it's we love children and all that. We're not hating on children, but again, we're just not trying to.
I can't
Rex.
even love you.
No, check this out. Why do you think in the animal kingdom, right?
Mhm.
If another animal come into meet the female version and they have cubs, what does that male does? He kills all the
Exactly.
cubs
He kills
and
the
start
cubs.
all over. Yeah, he killed all the
Exactly.
cubs and start all over in the animal kingdom. Like, even in the animal kingdom, animals don't like dealing with other people's kids.
Yeah.
Like, that's just how men operate. Like, not saying all men, but that's on the surface. When a man is just meeting you, that's how the man operate. Now, once y'all get to kick it and all that stuff, the perspective can change. But on the surface, that's how it comes off.
And going back to the first question, this is why a lot of single mothers have an issue with bringing men around their kids. You just
Is
proved that
why.
point because of the comment you just made.
No, but
If
it's
you
the
have that mentality of a mother who has a child or children, because to me it still comes off like you're looking at it as a handicap. So
Whoops.
then you can't make it, so then it's not far-fetched for a woman to say, no, I'm gonna wait a couple months, or I'm gonna wait a year after a year, or until it's a fit, like whatever, until you come around to kids. It's because of that mentality right there.
But there are baby daddies killing the boyfriend, the husband. They're killing us. So
Okay,
of
what's the
course
stat?
we're going to be scared of that.
Tell me the stats. Jimmy. Tell me the
I don't
stats.
need the stat. If I know one
If
situation
it's
where it
so
happened,
many,
I
if
now
it's
don't
so
trust
many,
him.
then let me know what the stats are.
No, I'm just saying. We know situations we read where it happened. We'd have to act strategic. He would know. But
No,
that
I'm
happened.
laughing at his comment. He said, I
Yeah.
think men are going to eat the young like him.
Yeah, like that's just
Oh, they do that too?
Nah, but like I said, these are just things that go through men's mind. That's all. That's
And
all it
also, I
is.
wanted to point out a comment that Empress put up there. I love it. Pretty much like the woman has to want to do certain things for herself. So that's another reason too why I said I don't think a woman should do anything out of character, because granted, you men may approve a woman just doing it for a man, but it's not going to stick and it's not going to be consistent or long term if she doesn't do it for herself first. So if you meet this woman, I don't care if she has a kid or not. If you meet this woman and she's 500, 600 pounds, I mean, you already know what you're getting into. You can't assume that, because you come into her life, now she's going to go get the lap band or she's going to go hit the you
Ooh,
have
sorry.
to want to
Now
do
the
that
shoes up.
for
We're going to
Everything at first.
So let me
that.
so let me ask you this:
Okay.
if "Take Me as I Am" doesn't work and nobody's stepping to you or nothing like that, at what point do you evaluate yourself and say, I need to change things up to get different results?
Great question.
Again,
Yeah.
you're posing the question to me. I'm speaking in general. Some
No, what I'm
people,
no,
like I said, depends on priority.
I'm
If a
asking you.
priority is a man,
Can I finish real quick?
I
I'm
thought you
asking
did. I
I'm
was
I'm
talking.
asking you in a sense, not dictated to you. I am asking the general question because women are watching this stuff, and I want you to basically give them an answer for things they could do. So it's not a shot at you directly. It's like devil's advocate, as you say.
Okay, well then you should have posed the question a little differently. What I'm saying
Don't
is
take
yes.
shots at me, punk.
I'm not.
Be easy, educated lady. Be
I'm
easy.
not taking shots at you. I'm
This is
I'm,
not
not,
a
taking
I,
shots at
discussion.
you.
I'm messing with you. Relax, relax. Go on.
What I'm saying is, in general, yes, you should take accountability, which is why I highlighted Empress' comment, because again, you have to want to do it for yourself. That's what I said before you posed your question. I said it shouldn't take a man to come into your life. It shouldn't take, oh, this happened. Granted, for some people it does happen, and strategic man. He said he's a bad influence. But yes, it should come from within. It shouldn't take you having a child or you having no, I'm saying in general. It should come from within, that you should want to say, you know what? I want to lose weight. You know what? I want to get a better job. I want to, upgrade, whatever the case may be. I'm saying it should come from within. That's what I mean when I say you shouldn't go out of character just for a person, because let's be honest, it's not going to stick. Or let's say you change yourself for that person and they end up leaving. Now you're going to resent that person. Like, all I'm saying is
Nah,
it should come.
no. If you're
I've
bettering
seen it
yourself, you
happen.
shouldn't resent it because the person left. You're bettering yourself.
It
So at the
depends
end
on
of the
what it
day,
is.
but what I'm saying is if you're working out, it's always better. If you're working out and introducing exercise to your life, it's always better.
Yes,
So
but
if
you're
you're not
using
doing that
the
ahead of
word
time, but if
exercise.
no, I'm using that just as an example. If you're
Okay.
not doing that ahead of time, it's going to be harder for guys to see you. Once you are doing that, taking care, it's like, dang, she got a child. She's still working out. She's going to work. She's in school. It's like, dang, like, yo, she got it all. So then you want to holler at her. But if she waits till you start talking to her, then she start doing it. Now, I really don't trust it. You want me to get married with you after a year? I need to see if you're doing this for 3 years because I'm not going to be a fool. So that's what I'm saying. Is just you should be doing it ahead of time, like
So
for yourself, not for me, for
so
Absolutely.
you.
That's what I'm
so
saying. You should
so
come
I
here
agree.
from
so
within.
here's my question, educated
Yes.
lady.
Okay.
For those who say take me as I am, when do you start changing what you got to do to get the results that you want?
Again, it depends on your priorities.
You
So if
just
your
missed it. I
priority,
literally just purposely asked you the same question just to get on
no,
your
because I wasn't finished. That's pretty much what I was saying, and then
Nah,
you
I
had
got it.
cut me off
I,
again.
I was just messing with
So
you. I didn't cut you off.
yes, you did.
June
Nope,
was
before
talking to
him.
you.
Nope, before him, I was talking, and you had cut me off. That's when you made the comment about me coming at you. Anyway, like I
Really?
was
That's what
saying,
we doing? Really?
yes, it is.
Really?
Yes, it
All
is.
right, I'm done. I'm out, guys. Deuces.
You
Like,
about
nah.
to leave? That's right. I'm
See,
gonna get a
she
replacement.
linked up with strategic, and now she acting brand new. You feel me? Like, yo, no love on the show. No love.
You know it's all like that. You know I love my walls tea. But no, what I'm saying is it depends on what that woman's priorities. It depends on what her priorities are. Like if you feel like, all right, you want to get a man or you want to be married, absolutely you need to change. But if you're one of those people that's like, you know what, I'm stuck in my ways, I have my kids, I'm good in my career, whatever. Hey, that may work for you, or you may continue to find a way to make it work. But what I'm saying is for anyone out there, single mother, non-single mother, whatever, do what works best for you. But if you do want to get married, if you do want that man, you do want whatever it is, that's with anything. You got to work for it.
Yes.
Yeah, good point. Good point. Good point. See how I got you to break it down and go into detail? How I pushed you a little bit, I nudged you.
No,
My
no.
plan worked. My
No,
plan worked.
it takes you coming at me, cutting me off. That's all right. I'm gonna
All right.
Don't
All
worry.
right. So I know right now we're dealing with time frame, so we're gonna jump to the next question of the evening, which is when is it okay for a man/woman to forgive him or her from cheating? So in other words, when is it okay for you to forgive a person when they've cheated on you? Who wants to go? Who wants to go? Come on, don't be shy. Don't be shy. Don't be scared.
We ain't scared.
Well,
All right. Me,
okay,
okay.
well,
Here,
speak.
I'll go. Okay. Like I say, man, marriage. If it comes into marriage, then I look at it as till death do us part. So we gonna figure it out, whether it's some therapy or whatever case may be. We gonna figure this out. I don't like. That's the way I look at it. As far as like relationship wise, it can depend. Because let's say a situation like this happened, right? Where because there's been situations like this that has happened where you say, all right, say if your man or your woman was date raped or whatever by her friend, male friend or something like that, wind up having a kid or something like that. Yeah, she technically cheated, so to speak, and brought a child into the house, or he cheated and brought a child into the house. But is that a case where you would forgive him or her? Because you could look at it as, well, you shouldn't have been out with your friends or whatever, or XYZ. So is that a situation where you forgive the person, so to speak? Is that a forgivable situation? I'm asking you guys.
To me, it
Honestly,
would be.
I can't do it.
You're saying
be
if somebody date raped her?
Like her friend, like she had a
Oh,
good
male
a
friend.
male friend that she was cool with, or he had a woman friend that he was cool with.
I
Slip
mean,
the
I would
Mickey,
be
date
mad,
rape them,
yo. I'll be
date
mad.
rape,
I
and
don't
boom.
know.
Because it's
I
like,
wouldn't
why put
divorce
yourself
her,
in
but
that
I'll be mad.
situation? It's
Exactly.
like why? Why would you do that? Why would you
Yeah,
put
but
that?
that's victim shaming.
No,
No,
I'm not
here
victim.
go. No,
I'm just, listen, I'm giving my opinion, out of opinion, right? I'm sorry. I can't do it. Why put yourself in that situation? You know how men operate. Again, this is why like the male, female friends, like I can't really do it because I know I'm a man. I know men's intentions. Like at the end of the day, they trying to get cheeks. If
That's
They-
a man, I'm
they
telling
are-
you, if a man,
they-
majority, no, not all. Hear me out. Not
So
all. I'm just saying if let's say there's two friends, male, female, and the female says, just give some signal or something like she gonna give cheeks or she down to give cheeks, he's hitting. Believe me, he's hitting.
if nobody,
I'm telling you,
nobody.
men will wait in the
See, I
friend
don't
zone.
know. I have
Not
to.
all friends.
that
though.
that
I
that
have to
that may
disagree with it
that-
only because like one of my best friend is a male, and like we've been friends since I was 12, and I don't know. I mean, granted, I guess I didn't give him an opportunity
There are
to.
exceptions, though. There are exceptions because I have friends, female friends. I look at them like sisters, and they're attractive, but you're a sister to me because
Yeah,
I know your husband. I love your husband. I love your kids. That would be a dirt
because
bag.
you made that known. Because you made that known. Had you have not said that, they would have shot their shot.
really.
Facts.
You know what?
Yes.
Granted, I never.
See,
I'll be honest with you.
Yes.
I don't know.
I can't because
you made it
by-
known.
by-
because
by-
had you
by-
not said that, you
by-
would have. Trust me, they would have.
by your logic though, because by your logic you're saying why put yourself in that position. That's like your significant other say, yo, I'm going to a party or something, and then on her way home when she's coming into the house wee hours of the morning, a dude rape her.
That's
Then you
different.
could still
That's
but you could
different,
still
bruh.
but you
That's
could still
different.
turn
That's
around
a
but you could
stranger.
still turn around and be like, why would you put yourself in
Be
that
out
position
that
being
late?
outside
Bruh,
that late?
That's a stranger.
But you
That's
still-
a stranger.
but
You're going
she
to see your
still-
female. You're going to see your
but-
male friend.
But Rex, you're still putting yourself in that position though. At the end of the day, why would you be out late for a woman?
True, I hear that, but again, what the scenario you gave, that's a stranger. I mean, like you're going to see.
What
your
if it's
male
not a
friend
stranger?
that's
What if
supposedly
what
supposed to
if
be-
it's not a stranger? What if it was a person that had a thing for her that she knows and he was just stalking her, waiting for the opportune time?
Can't blame her for that.
Yeah, I can't blame her for
So
that.
how
Like,
could
he's not
how could you blame her? And I noticed y'all saying y'all putting it on the woman. I said him or her if it happened both scenarios.
Well,
How
I'm not
could
gonna
you-
say him because
No, but how can you blame for something that was out of his or her control because that person decided to do such a thing?
I would be mad at her. Don't get it twisted. I'm
You get what I'm
not
saying?
saying it's
So
her
like
fault.
how
Yeah, I wouldn't get
He
like
would he
yeah,
I would he would have
I'd be
to.
mad at the whole situation. Yeah,
I'd be pissed with
heated.
him, but
Like,
I would be mad with her. Like, dang, babe, like, yo, how you let this happen? I would blame whatever victim blame. I would do it because I'd be hurt,
Um,
and it's like, dang, I couldn't even help you in that situation.
exactly.
So
Like I couldn't
that's just
do anything.
natural. That's natural. I'd have been like, damn, babe, like, why would you? Yeah, she'd say the same to me because it's like, why would you put yourself in that situation? And it's like, I really didn't know, but I would be mad at him because you're the one that sat there and did nah. Oh, I don't even want to think about it.
See, I don't know. Like I said, I have a best friend. We've been friends since I was 12, and for me, I mean, if we hang out, we do something, whatever. The last thing on my mind is, oh, okay, this could probably happen at the end of the night because again, I'm considering to be a friend. You never gave me, any reason not to
Then
trust you.
text him right
So-
now, say
and
you're
see-
horny.
And see, here's the
Word.
thing too.
Yo,
And see, and yo, here's the thing too. Here's the thing too. Here's the thing too. Strategic made a good point because he said, "What if the friend was gay and everything like that?" But what if this was a friend that they went out multiple times and nothing like this ever happened?
That's
Why would the person then think they're gonna get slipped a Mickey?
You're right.
You get what I'm saying?
That's true.
Repeat that again. Sorry.
What if, like, because Strategic said, what if the person was acting like carried themselves as they were being gay? They went out for mad times, and then the last time he decided to rape her, and I was like, I'll even shed more light on that. What if that person that raped her, they went out many of times together, and just so happened this last time he slipped her a Mickey, and boom.
I don't know, bro. This is extreme to use the day rate.
I know
That's
personal
extreme, bro.
situations that this happened, multiple, not just
How
one,
often does
multiple.
that happen?
Huh?
Like how often? Like that's never. I'm talking about like I know. Don't get me
On
wrong.
on percentage wise, it doesn't happen that much, but it does happen.
So
I-
hypothetically.
Go ahead, June.
Hmm?
No, I'm just saying it's a hypothetical. So hypothetically speaking, if it happened, I
No.
couldn't blame that person. But if they were going out 100 times with a friend that's straight, I can blame her. The reason I'm saying that because my wife told me she felt threatened. She wouldn't want me to say, it, but that's real. She felt a little threatened with some of my female friends. So it's like if you have problems with me having female friends, and then you're chilling with a male friend, and then that happened to you, oh, see, I'm gonna have a problem with it because you had a problem with me having female friends. So I'm gonna be that petty, ignorant Negro.
So you just
that.
gonna be. So you just Petty Roosevelt, pretty much.
That's me sometimes, just because it's like you blaming me, and look what happened. So that's why I would blame, but that's a crazy, touchy topic to be.
It
blaming.
is. It is.
Strategic said this happens every freaking Friday and Saturday, and then
What,
he
the date
said,
rape?
yes. Then he said, literally every weekend, at least 2 women come to the police station with this story. So he's talking straight from experience with his with what he does. So clearly, it happens a lot.
All right, the topic getting a little heated. Let's get back to what the original question was.
Yeah,
So in terms of
yeah. When is it okay? Okay, so let me finish pretty much my point. But at the end of the day, long-term relationship wise, I guess no cheating isn't right at all. But I guess it depends on the two people as far as if it's acceptable for it to be forgiven or not. Because it could there could be a multiple different cases of scenarios to be given down. So it depends on the two individuals. That's the best way I could frame it up. It depends on the two individuals on how everything transpired.
what'd you say, Rex?
I guess I can somewhat agree with that to an extent. Yeah.
So speak your piece on why you don't agree. Speak your piece on why you
That's
don't
what I
agree.
wanna
It's just for me, bro. It's like, oh man, like it's again, cheating is just not right. Period. But I don't know, bro. If I could forgive my significant other, I don't know, man. Like,
So pretty much you can't. It's like that's a root. That's a deal breaker for you. Pretty much.
Yep.
yeah, I don't know, man. Yeah, because bro,
Yeah,
chances of it
yeah.
happening
If
in my experience,
if that's how you feel, that's
this
how
is
you
different.
feel. Like, yo,
I'm only speaking from obviously relationship. I'm not married. Like when they do it once and you forgive them,
That's it.
there's a high chance they're gonna do it again.
That's not.
They
Oh, okay,
just gonna
high chance. True.
again. I said there's a chance, but again, they're
You're saying
just
if it's the
gonna be a
first time
little
that
more
person ever cheated,
quick with it. Yeah,
if that's the first time that person ever cheated, there's a high chance still.
it could happen, again, bro. It's a possibility. It could again.
Hey, I'm just asking.
I'm not saying there's a high chance. There is a chance it will happen again.
so what if you was married?
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I can't speak. I can't speak on that. I'm not married, so I can't speak.
Please
No, but
I
if
think
you're
because I
married,
don't
do you
know.
believe in till death do us part? Like no matter what. That's what I'm saying.
Mm.
If I made those vows, yes, but ooh boy, oh,
Gonna need many, many years of therapy, huh?
Without a doubt.
factual. Like yeah,
All
yeah.
right. What about you,
Me.
June?
I've said before, and I've heard myself. I sound like a simp saying I would take my wife back if she cheated on me, and that's just 1 out of 10 times her cheating on me. I would probably take her back. That's if I felt I was wrong. Like I felt I did her wrong. I was pushing her away. I was neglecting her, and I was just doing something wrong. But if I was doing what I should be doing, which I need to work on it, and then she cheated on me, I'm doing everything. I'm talking about everything I can, and then she cheated on me. I don't know.
You know
I
what?
really don't know.
That's a good point. I can agree with you on that. That I can agree with you. I could agree because that's the way I see it. If I did something to push her away, or I wasn't doing like my job fully, because I can feel I'm doing my job, but she's telling me no X Y Z, but I'm not listening to what she's saying, so to speak. And then she goes,
Mhm.
it's like, dude, you really wasn't paying attention. So now I got to sit back and evaluate. So I gotta agree with you on that. I agree with you on that.
I hear
Yeah.
that too. I hear that too. But then if that's the case, if again, if they're pushing you, you're giving them signs, whatever. Again, this is going for both male and female. It's like, so then why not just leave then?
That's
Why
right.
not just why resort to the cheating and then have to go through all that? Why not just leave? I know easier said than done, but why not
Because
just
sometimes
leave?
it's a mistake. Sometimes you're in the moment and then you make the mistake, and it's like, what did I do? Like, why did I do that?
But
So
you
yeah,
just
you could
said
just
that the reason why was because the significant other wasn't doing their part, and then you just kept relaying, telling them,
oh
"Yo,
she
listen,
leave
like
because
this,
of that.
and
She
then
may love me.
Yeah.
Just
Strategic comment. I cheat every time I bookmark Pornhub.
I laughed at that comment. You're a fool for that,
Because you guys do believe porn is cheating, right?
bro.
I think it could be, yeah.
Okay. All right. Educated lady, let's hear your take on the
It
matter.
could be education.
I don't condone cheating. I'm sorry. I don't care if we're in a relationship, we're married. I'm sorry. I'm against cheating for the simple fact that when you cheat, I mean, let me rewind a little bit. Whatever drove you to that point, I would hope and pray that there was communication before you just went out there. Like if you thought I wasn't giving you enough attention, we weren't having sex enough, whatever the case may be, you should have had open communication with me or maybe therapy, something. But then for you to go and cheat, it's like anything can happen. Like, what if you bring me back something? Because condoms break. What if you bring me back something? What if this woman gets pregnant? What if this woman is crazy? Now she's a stalker. What if, so when you cheat, it's not just, okay, I'm getting my rocks off. I'm getting whatever from her I couldn't get from you. It's like, and like for me, I'm a Libra. We're big on trust and we're loyal. So once you mess up my loyalty, you mess up my trust by out there cheating or having community penis, whatever it is, I'm sorry, I can't look at you the same. You didn't
So you would
respect
never
our
forgive.
I would forgive because, of course, that's the Christian thing to do. Because I would forgive because that's not for you, that's for me. Because if I don't
Okay.
forgive you, now I'm jaded. I'm making the next man pay. But in terms of continuing with the relationship or even marriage. I'm sorry, I couldn't do that.
Ooh.
I hear you.
This
I
comment,
hear
this
that's what I'm
comment,
saying. I'm
this
like,
comment.
oh, man.
What is you guys take on it? I like how it's only men. A woman can go out with female friends, and the female friend can drug her friend to set her up out of jealousy.
That's
Yeah, but can
possible.
we get off the
Yes.
topic of like
Okay,
rape and
okay.
all this? Because the conversation went left, and I'll
No,
be
it
very
did,
honest with you. Some
but
people can get very offended
that's
by
true.
certain things that we say, especially when it comes from
True.
men, because it's three of you and it's just one of me. So if we could just, and that's just my personal preference.
Okay.
If you want to continue,
Mhm.
we can.
So here's the question that strategic posed: is it cheating if you invite her into the bedroom for a menage a trois?
Not if y'all come into that
Nope,
agreement.
because
No.
according to Will Smith, as long as you have an open relationship, it's an entanglement.
Yeah, if you have an agreement, and that's the other thing. If you
Yeah.
have an agreement, then more power to you. But if we don't
Yeah.
have an agreement and I think I'm loyal, I'm faithful, you're my one and only, and you're out here hitting off many different people, like, I'm sorry, you didn't respect me. So why should I respect you enough to stay in a relationship?
All right.
Wait, but what if the person cheated one time? That's what I'm not saying if they're
But you broke
uh
my trust. So how am I supposed to
Exactly.
trust that
The
it was
person will
just that
never
one
trust
time?
the
You could
same. That's
tell
the
me
thing.
that. Yeah, you could
Exactly.
tell me that, and I'm gonna think you're just trying to soften the blow. But once you lie, like that's what I always tell my son. Don't lie to me. Like I'd rather you tell me the truth and
mhm.
okay, we'll deal with it. But if you lie to me, it could be something that's really important. It could be something that you really need to tell me. I'm not gonna believe you because it's like, well, wait a minute. You lied before. You lied a couple of times before. How do I know you're telling me the truth right now?
See,
Exactly. And
I can.
also
No, go on, Rex.
I was gonna say that that's true because it's like uh, you know it'll be hard to even um, trust this person on anything they say now, right? And then also the person that cheats, like that when you see that look of disappointment and you could see like they're not even taking in what you're saying, or it's like back of your mind they don't really believe you. That hits different, man. It's not the same after that. It's not the
See,
same.
Absolutely.
see,
That trust
see.
is in the play.
For me, I think that could hold weight if you catch the person cheating. But if the person literally came up to me and say, "Yo, I made a bad mistake. Here it is.
That's
Whatever,
different.
yada yada," then why am I going to sit there and think they cheated multiple times if they're literally coming to me and they're telling me, "Hey, I cheated"? Then that means that, in my opinion, you felt bad at what you did and you literally took the time out of your day or whatever to literally tell me what's up.
Yeah,
Why
So
but
couldn't you
in a
trust them
situ in a si-
after
so in
that?
a
But then they could
situation
use
like that,
that.
so in a sit, I look, I understand you can go through the process of they can use that and stuff like that, but I'm speaking for me. If I
Mhm.
see it as if a person can take the time to do that, then I can take the time to try and build back whatever because nobody's perfect. There's mistakes that are made. That's just the way I view things. Now,
and
like I
yeah.
said, deal breaker for people, but from my perspective, that's how I look at it.
I hear
Nice.
what you're saying, but I just feel like for me, I mean that we're all human and like you said, but at the end of the day, how many of us, men and women, have, people throwing themselves at us or asking us to go to dinner or wanting us to meet them after, how many of us have that and we turn it down. So the fact that I was strong enough to turn that down, focus on my relationship, but you had a weak moment for whatever the reason was. You had a weak moment and you broke our bond. You cheated on me. I'm sorry, I can't respect that.
But you're holding that person to your like to a different standard because let's use exercise. I can't resist all of those Dunkin' Donuts, and just because you slipped up, I'm like, see, you're nowhere compared to me. No, you're working towards that. So how do you expect him to be or her to be on the same level as you? Like
I
how?
don't, but you can't
We're all
compare.
different.
Okay, but if
Cheating
you
with
cheat,
food.
exactly, if you cheat with that food, granted, you are affecting your body in whatever way. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
But when you cheat, that's completely different. You broke a bond. Like that's a trust we had. Like I don't care what happened before me. If you and I are in a relationship, do you know how hurtful that is to know that another woman had you in the way that I had you? To know that she knows you do certain things with this or how like it's just a certain level of trust and loyalty that we expect our man to have.
You're saying just a man or like marriage, like a husband? Because
It
I
doesn't
don't.
matter if I'm
He's
in a
not yours if y'all
relationship.
just dating. I want you to know that. Because the single mother
But
thing I was
that's
telling you,
even
he
more of a
found out that wasn't
reason.
even his. He was like, I thought that was mine. And I was like, no, you're not married, my dude. It's not yours.
I
Period.
understand that, but
So
it doesn't matter. It
it
doesn't matter.
does.
If we commit to each other, if you
Hmm.
tell me we are in a relationship, that means to me, okay, any advances for sex, any advances for anything that could potentially, you know, be disrespectful to our relationship, I'm going to shut that down out of respect to you. That's what it's about. It's about respect. And I'm big on
Facts.
respect.
I
So for
agree with that.
me, it okay, I understand. We're not legally married. We didn't take that oath before God, right? But there are some people who also feel like marriage is just a piece of paper, which
But
is
it's
another
yeah,
conversation for
that's
another
true.
day.
It started with
But
him though.
yes, but again, I'm big on respect. So if you broke my trust, because here's the thing, if that was the case, then we could have established it as okay, you do your thing, I'll do my thing, but at the end of the day, we come home to each other. But if you're the only one that's out there with that motto, and here
But
I
you're
am
thinking
being
that person's
faithful,
thinking I'm gonna go cheat. What I'm telling you is sometimes somebody can be in a situation where we just fought. You just told me to go F myself, and then I left the house because you wasn't giving me sex in like 3 weeks. So I leave the house and she's sweating me. She's making me feel like a god. So then I had a weak moment. I ended up busting her cheeks, and now you're gonna get mad at me after you just threw me out the house like a horny dog that's ready to hump on a tree. I think you have to really think about there's no bond there for you to send me out like that. There, I don't see how that worked. I had to
Yeah,
tell wifey like, nah, we gotta get it in because I'm not leaving this house feeling this way. I was feeling horny, horny. I'm like something gonna have to go down
yeah, but see,
because
I guess because my thing is I look at relationships and marriage differently. So for
okay,
me, I don't feel like okay, just because, all right, we said I do today, all right, so anything that happened before then doesn't matter. No, I feel like when we're in a relationship, right, and this is where communication comes in, not
okay,
assumptions. If we communicate it, we're in a relationship, this is what it is. I'm under the impression that I am working towards marriage. My mentality is different. The way I carry myself is different. Like there's things that I do that are different than I was if I was just single. So that way, when we get, in front of that altar or we go to justice of the peace, whatever, and we say, I do, it's just
hmm,
official on a piece of paper, but I've been holding you down and loyal to you prior to that piece of paper. So again, I view
but
relationships and marriages differently. That's just me.
that's not what June is saying. Like what you said was nice and all, but what
Oh, you just wanted to get me back.
no,
That's what
no, I'm dead serious. The scenario that he painted had nothing to do with what we had before we got married. Has he painted a
I said
perfect situation?
communication. Communication. He just said, I communicated to my wife, I need sex X amount of times or X amount of days, whatever it was. That's what I just said communication. So you need to communicate. This is what you need. And if that person is not fulfilling your needs, you need to mention that you need to talk to that person, go to therapy with that person. And if at the end of the day, sex or whatever it is you're not getting at home, if it's that serious for you that you are willing to break that trust to go cheat with someone, even if it's that one time to get one off, I'm sorry, you shouldn't be with that person.
Understandable, but you're missing the point that he said.
Okay, well, how did you miss?
The point that he's saying is if y'all having back and forth communication and he's trying to get some or whatever, and you're holding back on him, y'all get into an argument, and this is going on 3 weeks to a month. Y'all get into an argument, you tell him go F yourself, you kick him out of the house, yada yada. So the communication been there for the last 4 weeks. You know he's feeling some type of way and horny or whatever, because by that point you know who you're dealing with. You kick him out, and he winds up doing what he do.
Well, then he needs to
That's
keep
what
doing
he's
it.
saying.
You don't
That's
need
what
to
he's
come
saying.
back home. You don't need to come back home.
that's victim
If
blaming
you had,
Yeah. So
how is
then,
that victim
because
blaming?
he's
so
a victim.
He is
yeah.
not a
So
victim.
this is
No
what I
one took
say.
advantage of you. You put
So,
yourself in a situation to
so then,
cheat.
so
No
this is
one
this.
came from behind you when you were getting out the car and did anything that you didn't want done. You put yourself in you have free will, right? You put
So then,
yourself in
by
this
As a
situation.
guy, that's
Let
a
me
victim.
talk,
listen,
Walty, because you
go
keep
on.
cutting me off. You put yourself in this situation to cheat on your wife or on your girlfriend. I'm sorry. I don't feel sorry for that. You have free will. Unless she had you tied down and took advantage of you, or you went into a restroom and something. Okay, if that's the case, all right, we'll deal with it. But we're talking about You willingly left the house. Well, she threw you out, right? You
Mhm.
could have went to anyone's house. You could have went to your boy's house. You could have went to your mama's. You could have went anywhere. You chose to go to this woman's house who
No,
probably
you didn't go to her house. I went to the gas station. I was on the way to my friend's house, and then she
so
seen me. She's
you
like, "Oh God, you look good." I was like,
Look,
"What?"
this is the
really,
way.
Like
This
that,
is the way I
like
see it,
that.
man.
really.
This is the way I see it. You kick me out the house, we're done. There's no ifs,
Nah,
ands, or buts
That's
about it.
why I
Like,
said don't
you
come
get what I'm
back.
saying? Like, yo,
I'm not
we're
leaving the
done.
crib.
You kick like, yo, you kick me out the house, or you say this is my house, or whatever. We're done. There's
I'm
no
like walls. I'm
and
like
even
walls.
and even if we're married, we will never, and I mean never, live under the same roof ever again. I don't care if we patch it up. The minute you say this is mine, we will never be under the same roof ever again. That's you could cancel that like Nino said in New Jack. Period.
So that's
why I
Petty
said
Murphy.
come back.
Yeah.
exactly.
I dig
Exactly.
it.
You feel
That's
me?
me.
So like how cheating is a deal break, when you go into saying my or XYZ, stuff like that, you're done. You're dead to me.
Oh, that's his deal breaker.
Yeah, you're dead to me. You're done.
I don't like that
Cancel.
neither.
Wait,
You can't.
Walls Pete. Where Pete? What you said? Say that again.
You know how cheating is like a being dead to a person? For
Yeah.
me, if it's get out of my house, or this is mine, or I'm the one who did this for you, and all of that talk, blase
hate
blah,
that.
especially like if I'm off my feet, whatever, and you help, build me up and stuff, and the conversation's going to I did this or get out of my house, we're done. F out of here. We done. Toasted. No coming back. No coming
How would
back.
you feel,
So
educated
wait a
lady?
minute. It's easier. Let me get this straight. Hold up. So a woman could cheat on you and you would accept that, but you get into an argument and she tell you to get out. That's a deal breaker.
Yes.
No,
Because
it's my
yeah,
house. Get out.
the reason why is because
Now I'm gonna
she
pull a
can
Ron.
because she can, like I said, a person can make an easy mistake and wind up cheating or something because you can push them away. But the minute you go into I and my and get out of my
You might have
house,
been thinking
that's
that for a
something
while.
that you've been having festering for a
Yes.
while, and I just got you mad enough for you to have the balls to say it.
But wait a minute, hold on. In the same instance of cheating, what if I had a moment of weakness in our argument and I was that frustrated, I wanted you to get out before it escalated?
You're frustrated, speak the truth. It takes frustration to get somebody to make you speak how you really feel.
So
That's
you don't
the way
think
I see it.
emotion can take over and people will say things they don't mean?
I can
But
forgive.
you think that
I
people
can.
cheat?
I can
Me
listen.
that one
I
time
can.
and
I can
Don't
forgive
say-
cheating.
don't say it.
I can forgive cheating because at the end of the day, we can build that, because that doesn't mean that you have a emotional connection to that person. But the minute we have stuff established and you go into I and all of this, and then you have the wherewithal to kick me out the house and say, get out of my house.
That is
What do I
crazy.
need to do? Now you basically just cut the ties of saying, I don't need you, get out, then we're done. You going out and cheating is not saying that I don't need you in my life. But you saying, get out of my house, this is mine, you're telling me you don't need me. And being a man that have pride, I don't need that. I'm out. I'm done.
So it's okay for another man to have sex with your woman, but
It's not okay. It's never okay. We're not saying that.
I'm not saying it's okay, but I'm just saying you can come back from. Okay, see, this is the thing. You're hanging on to my words. That's why you're over there laughing and shaking your head.
No,
Let's
I'm not
keep
holding on to your words. I'm telling you that's how I'm telling you that's how I feel about the situation. You're asking me the same question in multiple different ways, but that's how I feel. That's my deal breaker.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. I stand by that, damn it.
Wait, educated lady, if a guy told you get out the house, this is my house, this and that, and made you feel like a dog a little bit, you're saying you'd feel comfortable with that?
Absolutely.
Not comfortable, but you feel comfortable enough to like, okay, I'm back in here.
Absolutely not, but that wasn't really what the question was. The question was because he said he could forgive cheating over something like that. So no, for me, you tell me to get out the house.
Not over. I'm not saying over. I'm just saying, would you accept that if a guy did that to you? Period.
No, I wouldn't be able to accept that.
Yeah.
Okay, that's all I want to know.
Yeah, absolutely not. But at the same time, that's why you also, like, for anybody out there, that's why you got to make sure you protect yourself, and you got to make sure your name is on that deed, and you got to make sure, because
See, bringing
See,
mistrust into the relationship. For
exactly.
me, it would
It's
never work. Something
it's
like that
yeah,
won't work with me.
so you
exactly.
think the man's
It
name should
wouldn't
be
work with
the
me.
one on the
The
lease?
same if I tell you to sign a prenup, won't it feel like, oh, like you don't even think this is gonna work? You feel comfortable if a
Absolutely
guy's gonna
not.
get, then why would
Absolutely
I
not.
feel comfortable she's trying
Protect.
to set
You
all
got
those arrangements?
That's what
Nah.
it's about. It's about protection, because let's be honest, and of course men are usually the ones on the short end of the stick. How many times have they walked into a situation, yeah, you think it's going to work, you don't have a prenup, and that woman can end up taking most, if not all, of your stuff, especially the stuff that she didn't even help you build. Like, you had this stuff before she came into the picture. Let me tell you something. Maybe because of the things I have gone for myself, because I had asked my significant other that one time. I said, "Oh, so if we get married, would you want to sign a prenup?" Because you want to protect yourself. You want to protect your assets. Like, I don't know about you guys, but I know I'm destined for greatness.
But
So I
but
want to
you're a
make
rare breed, though. You're a rare breed because now
okay.
if a guy asks, if a guy asks, a woman that he wants to marry, like, would you sign a prenup? That comes off offensive. It's like, why is
Big
that
time.
offensive?
It
Like,
depends on the
it's like,
woman. Like you said, it depends on the woman.
yeah,
It does.
exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, it
And it
depends,
also
right?
depends on her intentions. Because here's the thing, when you have a prenup, it's not just saying, I don't have access to your money. When you have a prenup, you can work that in there. Okay, in the event, no, you don't want it to happen, but in the event we were to, separate, get divorced, whatever, you do want to have something that protects the both of you. So I'm not just
Exactly.
saying for the woman. That's not, and I'm not just saying for the man. I'm saying for the both of you. You could work it out where, I forgot who it was. There was someone where what is his name? Michael Douglas. He had a prenup with his wife, Catherine Zeta Jones, where I think if they divorced because he cheated, she would get, like, I think $500,000 off the top or something like
Dang.
that, or every X amount of years. So that's what I'm saying. A prenup isn't just, okay, so you keep your money, or, oh, so I can walk away with help. No, it's about both of you protecting each other. But if you genuinely in your heart of hearts are like, you know what? No, divorce is not an option. It doesn't matter if you become the next Bill Gates. We in this together. Okay, cool. That's fine
That's how
too.
I feel.
But me personally, no, I would not be offended if my man said, "Baby, I want to sign this prenup."
Wow.
Nah, I don't care about stuff like that either. Where it comes to, like, hey, if you're gonna sign a prenup, I'm good with that. Sign a prenup. It is what it is, or whatever.
I'm not
But
good with it.
if I'm in a married situation, and it's like, or even if it's not a marriage situation, if we're moving in together, it's not gonna be, yo, my name on this deed. Because the thing is, I know for me, I'm a fair person as it is. So even if there's gonna be a breakup or whatever the case may be, everything is gonna be done amicably. Now, if you want to bring the law into it and stuff like that, court proceedings, that's on you. But me being the person that I know I can handle stuff amicably, and as far as my spouse goes, I look for that trait. I look for that specific type of trait or nature in her too. So if I'm going down that bridge and it's like, hey, we're gonna put only my name on this or only your name on this. Number one, I would never be like, yo, I'm only gonna put my name on this. So if she's like, yo, I'm gonna put my name on this and not yours, I'm gonna look at that with a side eye, like, yeah, that means that you have intentions that this doesn't work, so to speak.
Exactly.
But,
So
That's
I
why.
but
can
Walter,
understand. I can understand where you're coming from when you said that, June, on your premises.
But
So
Walter,
yeah,
you the trait that you said that you'd be looking for, I hear you. Like, I'd be looking for the same thing, but people can change over time, right? She
yeah,
could be one way, and it's like, cool, but once that, let's say you guys don't come in agreement, that divorce comes, she can be a whole different person, right?
Mm.
And
That
you
change
never
don't
know.
happen overnight. Like,
yeah, but
it won't
that.
happen overnight.
But guess
That's
what
true.
though?
That's what I'm
But guess
saying.
what though? That's the choice that I gotta live with. At the end of the day, that's the choice that I got to live with because I put my 100% trust into this individual. Now, if something happened down the line, it is what it is. But I like to work with transparency. That's
I
just
agree
me,
with you, and that's why I was
you
saying
know?
it about
So,
cheating, because, like you said, it could be a woman where you feel like, oh no, she would never do that to me, and then you break
but
her
she will.
loyalty by cheating, and now all of a sudden, you dealing with someone like Dr. Dre's ex-wife, like, you know what I mean? So
Yeah,
that's why I'm
right.
like, it's
Right.
all about protecting yourself. That's pretty much all it is.
Yeah, but that's a defense what you're saying for cheating. Because I cheated, now she's gonna try to take half. No, if I don't have a prenup, I feel like, you know what, I may try a little harder. Let's say I made a lot of money. I know it shouldn't be an incentive to do more, but I don't want her to take all my money and then leave with my children. No, I'm going to do a little more. But if there's a prenup and if she's getting on my nerves, why do I really have to stay in there if she's really getting on my nerves? It's just the love, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. That's a good point.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
And that's
All right.
thank you.
We went well past our time or whatever for
It
this
was
live.
fun,
And
though.
everything
I had
like
fun
that.
with
It was
you.
definitely fun. Hey,
Yeah.
yo,
This
we
is
could have
good to see.
carried on this conversation for like another hour easily. But yeah, we're gonna call this live a wrap. I guess June and Rex, y'all can close us out. Call it a day.
Rex, let's get it.
Hey, listen, we appreciate you guys tuning in. Shout out to everybody in the chat.
Yes.
Shout out to Walls P, educated lady, pardon me, and my dog June. You already know what it is. We appreciate you guys. Please, if you guys have anything you guys want to let us know, maybe you guys want to voice your opinions, please. We want to hear you in the comments. So
Yes.
again, thanks for tuning in.
Oh,
Again,
and those who
great
are watching,
show, guys.
don't forget to hit that like button and definitely subscribe to both channels
Yes.
because it's being simultaneously streamed on Matter of
That's
Opinion,
right.
and it's being shot up and it's being also
And-
streamed on Hold Up, Hear Me Out though.
That's right.
Yep, so
That's
definitely
right.
check out both channels. And yeah. So yeah,
Go ahead,
you
go
can
ahead.
sign off. You can finish signing off.
And hey, that's it. Again, we appreciate you guys. You guys have a beautiful night.
Yes.
Again, tune in for more great
And
show,
stop
guys.
And before we sign off, be sure to check out Hold Up, Hear Me Out though on Wednesday nights. On Thursday nights, me and Educated Ladies gonna be doing live shows every Thursday night, and on Friday nights, 8:00, we gonna do collaborations every Friday
in
night.
there.
So
Yeah.
definitely stay tuned with that. All right,
So please,
and that's it,
everybody,
man.
That's
it.
Everybody, that's
Peace
it. We'll
out.
catch you guys on the next one. We appreciate
Have a
having you
good
guys
night.
here. Have a
See
good
y'all.
night.